How's it going, Rogues Gallery? My name is Kel, also known as Red Zone Rogue, and today we're going to be talking about what I believe to be the best mechanic in Cardfight Vanguard, or at least the mechanic that actually sold me on the game and really got me hooked. Because honestly, I'm pretty new at the game. Up until recently, it's just been a game that I've kind of seen in passing. I've done a couple videos here and there on it, and I just kind of want to frame this video in such a way so you know where I'm coming from and why I believe it to be such an amazing mechanic. And like I said, the sole reason that really hooked me on the game, well, maybe not the sole reason, there's a lot of reasons. I think the game is quite good in a lot of regards, but you know, I guess I should tell you a little bit about who I am and kind of give you like this framing device, because you know, I'm someone who is a lifelong card player. I've been playing since like 1995. I am an official Shadowverse Evolve English Edition ambassador. I have done casting and coverage for Shadowverse Evolve Worlds, Grand Archive Worlds, the Flesh and Blood Pro Tour, and I'm telling you all of this to let you know that I'm not just like some guy. Well, yeah, I am just some guy, but I'm some guy who has a lot of experience in the trading card game industry. So hopefully that gives a little bit more weight behind what I'm about to say, because, you know, like I said, I'm still new to Cardfight Vanguard. And the mechanic, of course, that I'm alluding to is the drive and trigger mechanic. And I consider these kind of part and parcel, like basically the same thing. They don't really exist without the other. There's the drive mechanic that exists on your units, and then you have the trigger system that exists on some cards in your deck. So for those of you out there who don't know what I'm talking about, if you're new to Vanguard like me, let me explain what it is really quickly to you veterans out there. Just hold on, we're gonna get through this. I just want everyone to be kind of on the same page. So in Cardfight Vanguard, some of your units have the ability to perform drive checks. Your Vanguard innately has this ability, and some other units also gain this ability through various card effects, potentially, right? And what this ability is when the unit attacks, you reveal the top card of your deck. If that card has one of the trigger keywords, well, then that trigger happens and then that card goes into your hand. Otherwise, the card just goes into your hand. This also happens defensively. When you take damage, you perform a damage check and you reveal the top card of your deck, see if that card has a trigger. That trigger then happens, and then it goes into your damage zone instead of into your hand. So this drive and trigger system is both offensive and defensive, and it can lead to a ton of really exciting gameplay experiences and just these incredible moments. And that's one of the reasons why I like it so much. There's a little bit more to it as well, but I think the real core of this is that this system makes it so your attacks are always exciting. It also makes it so taking damage can be exciting as well. It makes it so that you're never down and out. No matter how bleak things look, you still have a chance. And I love that in trading card games. I come from a background of playing a lot of Flesh and Blood, and that just doesn't exist in Flesh and Blood. There are times when you're playing the game and you just know you're dead. There's nothing you can do, you're just dead. But in Cardfight Vanguard, you still have that chance. You know, taking damage and revealing a heal trigger is just a game-changing thing that can happen. And I know some people can be like, okay, well, I don't like the randomness. You know, I don't like being at the whims of the Chaos Gods. And for that, I would say, hey, maybe you should go play chess or Flesh and Blood. But I personally really like this mechanic because it just makes everything so exciting. When you're attacking offensively with the drive checks, the fact that those cards go into your hand even after they do their trigger effects, or if they don't, is so good, so good. I don't know about you, but I love drawing cards in card games, and once you get to your grade 3 Vanguard and you start doing twin drives, doing double checks, basically drawing 2 extra cards a turn, essentially drawing at least 3 cards a turn, because you also have your normal draw, it's just so good. It's just clean and fun game design. And then, like I mentioned, it being defensive too always gives you that possibility to maybe get that heal check, or maybe even you can get like a little bonus to your units as well. I also like that it's not just like always immediately the best thing ever. Sometimes the drive checks, if you hit a trigger, well, sometimes it doesn't really do all that much, but sometimes it's like absolutely game changing. And I kind of like how it's sometimes amazing and sometimes like just okay. Yeah, it's great. those are the core things that I really wanted to talk about. The drive checks, adding this really exciting level to gameplay. Every single turn you get, you both your drive checks and your damage checks. On top of being able to draw the cards from the drive checks, being able to give other units the drive ability, which is pretty uncommon, I think. But my favorite Vanguard so far, this witch girl whose name I don't really know how to pronounce. I hear people say Charmot, but she looks French, so it's like Charmot. Anyway, she gives the ability for your other dudes to be able to do drive checks, which is really cool. Well, one specific dude to do drive checks. And now I want to talk about the over trigger in the room. So this is a very divisive mechanic. In Cardfight Vanguard, you can have up to 16 of these trigger cards in your deck. So it's balanced in such a way in that you can't just stuff your deck full of trigger cards. You know, you can only have 16, and in that 16 you can only have 4 heals and 8 criticals. And most decks that I see run the 4 heals, 8 criticals, and then they run some number of like draw or front row triggers or something like that. But what's important is the over trigger, and you can only have one over trigger in your deck, and it essentially is your Hail Mary, right? It's your ace in the hole card. If you reveal it on an attack, it has an amazing, powerful effect. Plus you get like plus 100 million attack. And then if you reveal it on defense, it still also has decent effects as well. Sometimes being able to shut down your opponent's attack, which is just very strong. And the fact that this is just kind of a one of, I win combat kind of card, I've just seen getting into Cardfight Vanguard, that's a very divisive thing among Cardfight Vanguard players. So personally, I don't really know how I feel about it. I feel like this is something that I'll form a better opinion of as I play more Cardfight Vanguard. Like I said, my current favorite Vanguard is Charmot here, but I'm also building Welstra and I'm building Blangmire, which they're both metal as hell. And as I get into the game more, well, we'll see how I feel about the over trigger. But at the base level, I don't know, I kind of think it's cool. I know a lot of people are not gonna like that, but as a new player getting into it, it's kind of cool. I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it. I'll reserve judgment on it until I get more and more into the game, get more experience. So there is that. There is the over trigger, and I know some people really don't like the over trigger, and I can see why. But coming from Flesh and Blood, where everything is like minute advantage over the course of a 60-minute game, dealing 1 point of damage here every turn, out of like 40 health. The over trigger is just like boom, really exciting. It's like the most exciting play you can have. And it's just kind of like random off the top. And if it's in your hand for whatever reason, you can still block with it. It blocks okay. Well, blocks very well compared to most cards. And I do want to say there are ways to block out the over trigger too. There are cards in Cardfight Vanguard that they're called perfect guards. They can just block anything, which is great. I'm not gonna get too much into the Cardfight Vanguard rule set, but just know that this trigger system and the drive system really sold me on the game. After I played it, even playing with the trial decks that have like no effects or whatever, once I realized I'm like, I attack and I draw 2 cards, that's so much fun. Sometimes I draw 2 cards and one of the cards like gives my dude an extra critical, which is an extra point of damage, and that's just awesome. Like, it's just so much fun. So, yeah, that's basically the topic of today. The Rogues Gallery Discord has been really buzzing with Cardfight Vanguard. A lot of people getting into the anime, a lot of people picking up the game and trying out new decks. It's actually really exciting. For a game that's lasted 13 years and one that I've kind of ignored largely, I feel like it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't feel like left behind or anything, but I'm glad that I'm getting into it now because it's a really fun game, and I can see why it's lasted 13 years, even with the several reboots that the game has had. So please let me know what you think about this in the comment section down below. Do you play Cardfight Vanguard? Do you want me to cover Cardfight Vanguard more? The response has been very strong. I've been posting about it a little bit on Twitter, and I've got a lot of support both on my socials and here on YouTube. So there's a lot of motivation for me to continue it, other than me just really enjoying it. It seems like the community also really enjoys it and wants me to cover it more. So that's a winning combination for me to cover a game here. So yeah, just let me know what kind of videos you'd like to see for Cardfight Vanguard. A lot of them might be from like a new player perspective, because I am. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I'm gonna done blabbing now. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, especially the support on me covering a new game like Vanguard. And hope to see you next time for some more card game content. All right, see you later, everyone.